Okay, I figured out how you can fix these boards, and you can fix it for probably under $10. Uh, as you can see here, I figured out that these little, if you look at the original one, buried under this rubbery gook are two little white things here. And if I pop this off of here, which is just a cover, it's just a little cover. And if you look in here, these are actually fuse links. And you can see they're separated here, they're burned out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder a wire to each side and put a remote fuse that can actually be, if it blows, you just replace the fuse. It'll be just a standard automotive fuse. But basically what happens is you hit an obstruction with the auger or whatever, it locks up, and this little bridge right in here between these two contacts, that actually burns. And if you look at this real close, they're actually darkened, and this one, the fuse is actually burned out. And to get this gook out of here, it's really pretty easy. You take a little screwdriver like this one, and you just go in there and you just dig the stuff out very carefully, get it all cleaned out of there. And the little white caps down there, if you just put the screwdriver between the end and rotate like this, that pops right off. And you'll see right away that it is in fact a fuse, and the fuse is burned out. So what I'm going to do is rig it up, probably with some 8 or 9 inch long wires. I'll solder onto that, and then I'll put a remote fuse probably in the battery case. So if it pops the fuse, you just open up the battery case, pop in a new fuse, and you're rocking. You don't have to take anything apart. So that's really kind of a fix for this. The trick is to make sure I can find the fuses that'll be hefty enough. Do is put a 30 in there and see what it does. If that doesn't work, I'll put in something bigger. We'll play it by ear, but that's a pretty important find. I think that's really the problem with this whole setup, is not that they fuse it. That's actually a good thing, but the fact that they make it where you have to spend $90 or $100 to replace a fuse, that's really uncalled for. So I'll let you know how it works out. Okay, this one is fixed. As you can see, where the fuses were in here, I had soldered some wires on there, and I put little fuse holders on here, and I made them plenty long because these will actually protrude into the battery box, so I never have to take this thing apart. This is the little cap that was on the original screws or fuses, which laid in there. The way to test this, I'm going to go ahead and put a fuse in one of these. Each battery has its own fuse, is the other thing, and evidently it blows both of them. So I put a continuity meter on here. One end goes into this connector, and it goes into the squarish one here. And then you touch the red wire on here, and you can tell there's continuity. On the other one, there's nothing. If I switch the fuse to the other fuse holder here, now you see this one works, and this one doesn't. So, after I reinstall this someday down the road, the only thing I'll need to do if it blows the fuse is to just pull out the fuse and change it. I'm going to start with 30 amp. I think the biggest I can get in here is a 40. I'm thinking 30 amp is probably going to be enough. You know, it's one of these things they're going to shoot from the hip on this deal. But at any rate, it's a pretty easy fix. It was really easy to peel this stuff out here. It's kind of rubberized. You take a little screwdriver and you just dig it right out. And the solder held on very well. So not an issue there at all. And yeah, I think this is the fix. I'm actually not going to install this because I put a brand new board in mine already. So I'm going to wait till that one blows up. Then I'll stick this one in. And then I'll just fix that one, and maybe I'll sell it on eBay, or I don't know. Anyway, this is just kind of an experiment. You know, I just can't help but fix things. So if you run into issues, grab this video. Maybe this will help you out a little bit. And again, to test it, it's just the red lead on the connector and this bottom squarish pin here are the two that you check for continuity. I'll guarantee anybody who has a dead snowblower, this is exactly 100%. This is what's wrong. Easy fix. I think I've got $12 into it so far.